Okie dokie, everybody. How's it going? Let's do this. What is going on here? Something is going on my phone. Anyways, welcome, guys. I'm going to be doing a watch along doohickey thing with Ashes of Creation. Going to watch their January 2023 development update. I am Squeetee. I'm all over the place right now. And we're going to just see what happens this month. Discuss it. I have Jhibli and Gilded with me. I don't know if Gilded. I don't think I actually have Gilded set up for voice, so that you can hear him. Hopefully, I'll play around with it as we go. But either way, so we're going to be watching this, discussing it, having a good time. I heard there's some drama with this development update today, and hopefully it's going to be a good one. So we will get right into it. Hopefully you can hear Jhibli when I get it going. And yeah, let's go for it. Can you test really quick, Jhibli? I want to see if Streamlabs picks you up or say something.
Sure, go ahead.
I think that's wrong. Hold on. Not what I wanted. All right, say something again.
Something.
Okay, cool. I think I got you. One way or another, it's picking you up. Cool. All right, we should watch this and see what we get.
Hello and welcome to our
I
glorious
got new
Ashes of Creation
graphics.
January development update. It's our first stream of the year. We hope that
It's
everyone
January.
is safe and well. I know, isn't that crazy?
It's always got
That
that
is
damn
very
cat in the
crazy.
background.
I was just talking with you the other day actually about how it feels so long since we've had a live stream.
Yes, it has been. Well, it's because the months.
Like
So
5
we have like
weeks?
a little bit of a situation whenever it's December and November. It's like everything's so fast and they're back to back. And then when it gets around the time for January, everything feels super long because
I know.
we don't have our
I
stream for a
know.
little
I
while.
was missing our live stream. It was making me sad. I went like
Aw.
the week beyond the normal cadence for me, and I was just like, something feels off.
Arthur, fix your
Well,
camera.
now you're back, and everyone
Yay.
gets to see our faces.
I'm
But that's
sorry.
not why you're here. You
know.
want to see the tank. You want to see some tanking and some spanking. So we'll definitely be showing
Yes.
you some of that.
We'd like to thank everyone actually for tuning in.
I had that for the outro. You stole it.
Oh, no.
Steven.
I actually said it in the chat. I was like, thanks for joining us. But of course, you know, as a reminder, like we're here again. I'm Margaret Crone. I'm your Director of Communications. I got a title upgrade. Achievement unlocked. And then, of course, with me, as always, is Stephen Sharif, our Creative Director. I hope you're doing well. You've missed everybody. They've missed you.
I know. Yeah, I've been doing great. It's been a crazy
I was in
month.
the
Actually,
office.
we've gotten a lot. This has probably been our most productive January I think we've ever had as a company.
A lot has happened. A lot.
I know.
For me, especially, I'm just like it's.
Yeah, usually sometimes for studios it can take a week to get back in the saddle again, but I feel like we hit the ground running. January
Day one
3rd.
was like, let's go.
Yes.
But I think everyone was refreshed. We got a lot of cool stuff to show off.
That's fine
and
with
of course,
me.
we're
I'm glad they're working
on a lot of
hard.
stuff that you're not going to see today too. But you'll be seeing in the future, and we'll give a little teasers of some stuff that's coming up. But of course, to remind you of what you're going to see today, we are going to go through some quick reminders. They're super quick. And then we have our tank update. We'll get right into it. We know that's why you're here. And then we have our character art.
I'm very eagerly waiting
answers.
for this
And
tank
look at
update.
this
That's why
overlay.
I'm here.
Mike Vecchio,
For sure.
bringing it in.
Some new overlays for the new year.
It's getting, a little Ashes of Creation fantasy vibes. We hope that you like it. Let us know
Yeah.
what you think. We always try to take the new year, at least my team, we do like a refresher. So you'll see a lot of cool new assets coming down the line for all of our social stuff. And I know they're working on some fun things. So stay tuned on that front. But with that, we're going to go over our comment spotlight, which I think I need to grab.
I always forget to
from
make one of these.
Week. Let us see.
I always have comments I want to bring
we have
up.
our cosmetic swap over
guess we're
that's
doing that
happening.
first.
So I'll just remind you guys that the Featherstone Royal Expedition goodies
I
are
kind of like the little
available. They
baby
will be
spider on the
swapping
top, but
over, soon. So
They
if you would like
handpick their
them, make
comments.
sure that you get them before
Yeah,
11
really.
a.m. Pacific on February 8th. And
yeah,
those
they
ones,
picked those comments
I
specifically
got the
for
design,
something.
which was really cool. Reminder that these are kind of NPCs that you'll see in the world, creatures that you'll see in the world. They are, tied with the lore that we have going on, which is pretty exciting. And of course, we had our comment spotlight, which I'm going to swap over to. If you would like to be our comment spotlight, you can head on over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and leave a comment on this development update. So it's going to be January development update, the one that's titled that, which will go live on Saturday. But our question here, well, it's a comment plus question. I have been wondering how you will capture the storytelling from a casual point of view. A lot of the times where people reflect on what has happened in the MMO is by watching trailers. Arguably, in this person's opinion, one of, if not the best trailers out there is the Star Wars The
It's
Old
a great
Republic
trailer.
one, where they spend tons of money on capturing an audience through some phenomenal trailers. Are you looking to do the same, or what kind of trailers can we expect from Ashes of Creation? And this is from actually ePod, which, yeah, I have thoughts on this, but I'll leave it to you first, Stephen.
Well, SOTOR I thought did a great trailer and story and voiceovers. I thought all that was great with SOTOR.
But that's it.
We're an independent studio, and
we'll start there.
Let's start there. With that being said, there are certain budgetary requirements in order to afford very, high-end cinematics and voice actors.
Probably not getting a blur trailer if that's what you're asking.
Right, exactly. And what that means is how we want to implement on that front is really going to be in engine, in game, how we capture those scenes, how we capture those elements of story. And the good thing is that from a lore, narrative, and questing perspective, we have some functionality and tools that we're going to be utilizing to help tell the story from the player's perspective, because so much of the story is derived from player action, from community engagement, from the social interactions and decisions made along these different story arcs that can occur. And each server's different. So not, spending that
I really want to
of
see what he
money
eventually means by that.
amount of resources.
How much influence did the server have on the story?
Very well done trailers. We would have to create a lot to kind of show how certain story arcs, what the outcome looks like in completing those things, because there's a lot of different ways these story arcs can end depending on what the players do. So we're going to leverage tech that captures kind of at the moment when something server first is done in the story arc, and those will be recorded on these memory fragments that players can collect within the game.
That's really
through their
cool.
experiences, and relive potentially through the cinematic that would be in game recorded, how an event went down, how a boss was killed, how a story arc ended, and they can collect those things throughout that server's life and history, which I think is a really cool way to tell the story.
Did they ever say this before? This is a great concept.
I think that's super cool, and that's kind of how we're going to acquire it. It's really going to be meant to portray in game, and also based on what the players did. Margaret,
and so that's more like
that.
in-game cinematics.
Right.
In regards to trailers,
It's
I think
okay,
that's what we will
Jhibli.
definitely be making. Trailers. If you saw it for Alpha 1, we made a trailer. We'll definitely be making.
Oh, it's old
videos
news?
for Alpha 2
I'm oblivious
and
to
Beta 1,
it.
Beta 2.
I know
and
they
of course,
talked
our
about
launch is gonna
something
be a big deal
similar,
for us. We will
but
be
I almost
doing
took it as
lots
like
of
a
video snippets and goodies that we will be sharing
text biography, not a
we'll definitely have trailers.
recording
They might
of
not
it. That
be
seems so much
blurred
more
whole trailers, but we'll
exciting.
do our best to make some really sick stuff that gets people hyped And we'll probably, you know, from a marketing perspective, advertise in some spaces in order to get people excited about certain content pieces and advertise those to the right audiences.
Kind of like for the
So we
achievement
will definitely
people.
put,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
saving our marketing budget
Yeah,
for the
that's for
right
sure.
spaces, for
Achievement
the right
people,
places.
server
We'll
first
be doing a lot
people.
of content creator stuff, as you all know. We do have a content creator program that is open. It's currently in application phase. We will let you know when
my
it
God.
switches to invitation
Pick
phase,
your
which will
content
probably be
creators
closer
already.
to alpha 2 because we, you know, you kind of need you need content to be able to make content.
Still.
So,
Yes.
It's over a year at
for
least,
us
it
and
feels like.
from our perspective,
Come
it
on.
makes most sense for that to timeline match up versus, you know, like having a bunch of content creators who are, you know, working with us, but they don't have content to share.
Yeah, and we have a
yeah.
pretty good budget that's been allocated for marketing
Yes.
trailers
Steven's given me
marketing
budget.
endeavors. We haven't even utilized any budget towards
No.
marketing thus far, and we've, you know, from a project
Really?
perspective, obviously we've garnered a lot of
Didn't you have
attention
Shroud
because
play
we have this transparent
APOC?
process of development where we keep you guys updated on a monthly basis. But as we grow closer to testing events and launch, where those marketing dollars get a good return on ad spend, that's when we deploy
We
those
don't talk
things.
about APOC.
And I think you're going to be seeing just through the production quality that you see that Margaret and her team provide on the monthly cadence with our development updates, that is going to be met same course on the marketing side.
Oh, for sure. Like we'll be doing very cool things on, and obviously for us, launch is going to be really exciting, especially for my team, because that's when community and customer service and, you know, GMs and things of that sort get to have a little bit more fun because we get to interact with you guys. And we also get to utilize things that you're doing in game, like Steven was talking about, those big moments on servers where we get to interact with them. Or maybe we'll have like a news live stream where we work with different people from all the different servers to bring us information. Like we're going to do a lot of cool, fun things.
Steven.
You know,
It's a-
guild programs.
stuff I
something that
want.
we've talked about in the past too, which is, you know, we want to bring guilds together and we want information from them. And if you've seen stuff that I've done at previous companies in regards to that, you'll know that I'm a big fan of that stuff. So we will have a lot of fun. Don't you worry. And when it comes to trailers and videos, we will have plenty of them. Right now, it doesn't make sense for us to make a ton of videos because, you know, we're in development. We want to make sure that we're not making too much content where we have to keep up with stuff that doesn't make sense while we're, you know, heads down.
Especially when those things can change. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know a lot of people have asked like, oh, can you make a video that's like, what is Ashes of Creation? Well, we need to make that game first so that we can make that video.
And we need to go through the iterative testing loops, which is where the game can really change, right? That's the very most important part is, you know, we have
so Alpha 2 when?
systems and features that we've built thus far, but really how those features survive and in the way they survive comes after the testing environment. And that testing environment is most applicable with a live audience. So, you know, our efforts are
I'm not sure they know what Alpha 2
is.
is.
Live audience testing, which of
course,
at
this point, I really
made some
they have no idea.
We have some pre-alpha 2 testing too that we're going to do to make sure that we're ready to open the floodgates because Alpha 2 is a lot of players, whereas Alpha 1 was, I mean, it's a good amount of players, Alpha 1 was, but we want to kind of make sure that we're
I think our ready. Alpha 2 has over 100,000 people that have purchased into it, so it's a pretty
significant. Oh my God, 100,000?
Obviously that
30,000.
I know.
And now it's
obviously that explodes when we get closer to Alpha 2 testing. But
yeah, now do the math real quick.
Yeah.
How much was it to buy a pre?
Waiting, want to see this tank thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah, that's true. That was a fair amount of money.
Next, we're just
not a horrible amount for people, but
so thank you so much.
Times it by 100,000.
We'll swap over to the tank of goodness.
Damn.
So, Steven, let's do a little prefacing before people watch this hour-long video.
It's an hour-long video of tanking?
Everyone is always aware of this if you tune in, but you have to be partly the messenger for us with the broader audience.
Oh no, is Steven tanking the whole time?
That is a responsibility.
At least it's what he does in all the videos.
Also, you guys as our loyal, loving, amazing, beautiful, glorious followers who are waiting for this product to sit in your hands. It's helpful if you guys comment that this is a work in progress. Art is a work in progress. Design is a work
Steven,
in progress. All
I
of
don't
this stuff
think he
is
should
meant
be
to kind of show
doing anything
that progress
as
towards
the main character,
end goal, which is delivering this.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
It should be in the hands of the guy who develops the tank or combat, so that he can really shine with it. I know Steven wants to be
in this
the reins of the show, but
I had to use a few GM cheats. I apologize.
Tell us what you did, Steven. What did you do?
I had to use some GM cheats specifically because there was a particular item that I needed to get that we died a few times when we shouldn't have. There was too many creeps that we pulled. We were undermanned in an area that was designed for 8-man groups. So there's just stuff that
You
happens.
couldn't get 8 people in
I
the
just
dev
want to give you
studio
that up
to
front that there's
play
a
for an
little
hour?
bit of GM cheating. If you see that, please take it with a grain of salt. We feel comfortable sharing that stuff with you. This isn't
Yeah, that's a
marketing
good question.
oriented.
That's what I
This
was
is
thinking too.
development
Yeah.
oriented.
Hell,
So you guys are getting to see
throw some
development
artists in
raw
there.
formats.
I'm sure the artists want to play too. Get them on there. Make them a
With that
healer.
being said, you're going to see the tank archetype. It's important to remember the
Yeah,
tank archetype. This is
they don't
I
have
think
to
level
talk.
12
Just
or
throw
level
them in there.
13.
Yeah.
There's a few abilities that we're going to be going over. The biggest thing to take away here is November, we showed you a cleric live stream.
Yeah.
There were 3 big points of feedback from the community with regards to the cleric live stream that related to combat. That was hit animation reactions from the NPCs when they're being attacked. It was hit visual effects on impact from a weapon when that weapon contacts and making it feel substantive, making it visually apparent that you've made contact with the enemy. And the last was going to be the animations and the root motions around the mace combat. Now, Brian Ferguson did a lot of work on fine-tuning up that mace combat. I think it looks great. We took a lot of that feedback. We did
a lot of people said
there.
It feels good when they're playing
it feels very connective. And then Jim, Matt, and John did a lot of work on the hit impact VFX with Adam and Keenan supporting on the directionality of those hit impacts. And then in addition, with the animation team, Brad Constantine providing some significant adaptation to the hit reactions on the animation side with these particular creatures that you're going to see improvements on. Where your point of feedback is most applicable is on those 3 things. But in addition, talking about the role, the functionality of the abilities you're going to see, what about the tank have you enjoyed in previous games, that particular role, and what do you like what you see here?
Not
There's
dying.
some cool tech you're going to see involved in this. You're going to see
That's
some
what I
wind force
enjoy the
atoms that
most.
get applied to abilities when dealing with the surrounding foliage. I think that's super cool. It really is immersive. It, of course, adds...
build.
Yeah, lawnmower build. How do you mow that grass down with some explosions and stuff? It's super cool.
Lawnmower build.
Lawnmowers, I haven't heard your lawnmower in the background yet.
It happened in the morning.
Look at that.
They always do it every other Friday.
We've made it.
Here's a good thing. What if they don't have enough characters designed as their classes designed to have 8?
Might leverage a separate energy mechanic called stamina. We haven't yet really nailed
but then you could
just
still, I mean,
if we're going to go
yeah.
or if we're going to have active blocking.
It wouldn't look good if you had 4 clerics or something.
Damage.
When you're supposed to have 64 or whatever class combos.
Some classes will have the ability to spec into passive skill trees that might reduce the cost of that mana down to very, very small when active blocking. So it's geared towards certain types of archetypes. So with that being said, you are going to, one other thing. Audio levels might be a little high with combat and voices. That's an issue we're going to have fixed the next time we do some development live streams by separating out the audio.
We got some new equipment for Steven, so it'll make it so my team can edit a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
Because right now it's like the audio and the gameplay are mixed together, so we can't really edit that as easy.
Yeah, so just be aware of that. But without further ado, we would like to show you the first look at the Alpha 2 Tank Work in Progress archetype. Enjoy.
Okay, here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream. The first, actually, of 2023. Holy smokes, how crazy is that? I was thinking the other day how much time passes between live streams. The longest amount of time that passes between our live streams is actually the December to January months, and it's always sad. I was sad to think about we haven't had a live stream in a while. But today is going to be a fun live stream because we are showing off an early preview of the Alpha 2 tank archetype and some of its abilities. I think we're going to have fun doing that. And I am joined today by some amazing, awesome, spectacular developers on the team. Some of whom, actually all of whom, I think you have been with before. We are joined by one of our glorious engineers, Keenan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
It looks pretty
and then we also
clean,
have
I guess.
two of our senior gameplay designers, Brian and Trad. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yep, glad to be back. Ready to do some healing this time around. Brian will be taking over the fighter role for me this time.
Last time, we showed off the cleric in November, and we got some great feedback on the hit reacts, the hit visual effects, some of the weapon combos with the mace, and I know you guys have been working pretty hard at implementing iterations over that feedback, right?
Yeah, the mace has had a lot of iteration over the past month. What you guys saw in the cleric live stream was an ultra early first stab. We took another full approach at it.
So looking at their icons,
and we came
Steven's
back at it with a new approach that focused on holding poses
looks
and quick
offensive
transitions
by the icons,
and
but he's also holding
an
a
overall
two-handed
satisfying
sword.
cadence to the mace. That'll be cool to show off later in the stream.
Yeah, I think people are gonna like those changes. So we
Ferguson's
actually
a weapon
have
master.
chosen an area you guys will recognize. Of course, we are
okay.
back again in the Riverlands. The Riverlands being a very large portion of the Alpha 2 environment, but we have some objectives here, right? We're gonna try to acquire some gear. So you guys are probably noticing some
Fighter.
of the UI.
Right.
Colby and the UI team have been up to a lot of stuff. You can see now we have some of the tooltips.
They could have done 2 tanks, 2 clerics, fighters, whatever, and everyone and done an 8-man. Like that would have been okay.
But, you can see also. Let me see. Do we have our map?
But it would have been
Where
happy
are we
with
headed
it.
to? I think we're headed to. What is this place? Is this the?
So I don't know if I like that map
is
very
it
much.
Oakenbane? The Oakenbane?
Oakenbane Keep.
Yeah, this is the Oakenbane Keep. So this is one of the
Looks too
PYs
water
in
painty.
Alpha 2.
The minimap
Just to
one?
give you
Or-
guys some
Not the mini map, the
this
map,
was a,
the bigger map you popped up.
training facility in the older
See if
variant
he pops
days
it up
of the
again.
Alien Empire, where they trained up recruits, and I think some of those recruits might still be here, just not in the corporeal form. I guess they may be in that incorporeal form. But they have some items for us, right? Because we're going to talk a little bit about looting as well, and some of the party mechanics that we've implemented for looting rights, right, Brian?
Yeah, we've made a huge amount of progress with looting as well. As you mentioned,
Yeah, there's a map.
Also, stats went through a huge revamp to be much more performant now. We got a compare window online.
It's like,
the inventory is a
I
lot
don't
more
know,
functional now.
like somebody
and all
quickly
those party
water
settings
painted it or
that Kobe
something.
and his team have been working on as well. So,
Very nice.
big update for a big important core loop.
Excited about that. And one thing I want to make sure that we're going to be doing is going through each of these abilities, and again, these are just a small subsection of abilities that are available to the tank archetype. Talk about kind of the role of the tank in
You walk a
Ashes of
bull-legged?
Creation. Trad, why don't
said-
you tell us a little bit about what the role of that tank is?
For sure. Well, the tank in Ashes of Creation.
The way his
pretty familiar
character's
to a lot
walking looks
of,
like he's bull-legged.
people who regularly play MMOs. It's going to be.
Oh yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Good now?
He looks really stiff too. Like
Yeah, I can hear you now.
he's
His
a little
knees go out.
pocket.
Just like a classic role, you're defending for the party. Usually the tank is the person leading the charge. Everybody is following the tank as they navigate through a dungeon or through a space like kind of where we're at now, taking damage for the party, mitigating damage, saving your team members when the cleric can't, heal them or keep them alive.
Now, one thing.
Yeah, holding aggro.
Oh, here we go. Yes, let's get this snipe off. The DPS is doing their job.
He didn't do anything.
Oh, wow, that guy died quick. What did?
Sorry, am I doing too much damage?
Like
I
damage.
think you did.
Steven, pick him up.
Nice. nice. Okay, so you guys probably are familiar with these NPCs. We've seen them in the past. These are some of the Minotaurs leading up to, I think these guys are populated around this Oakenbane Keep area. But okay, so one of the abilities the tank has is a ability called Grapple. Now, visual effects, and just to, whoops, darn it. Okay, I'll use that next. Let's kill this guy real quick. Oh my god, we grabbed a couple of them.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, really. You knew it was coming. Like you said, he's going to pull everybody.
Very nice. Oh, he had some redwood lumber. Very cool. Okay, so just to preface yet again, this obviously is a work in progress. You guys are going to be seeing some abilities, some visual effects that are still outstanding.
I really think they should just pre-script this instead of doing it
about with these abilities
on the fly.
To change because of testing.
Yeah,
But
I
one of the first abilities that
agree.
tank is
as much as I like the naturalness of it, like
towards your party, or at least
bullet points need to get hit in these videos, and I feel like they're not hit.
Oh, he resisted my pull, and now look at him.
Well, that sucks.
He pulled his friend with him.
Well, it's a group. What do you expect, Steven?
The actual shades that are in the Oakenbane Keep, those are intended for groups, right, guys?
Yeah. They're a lot tougher, and if we get more than one at a time, it'll be a lot more difficult.
Got it. And I see that I have, as a tank, I have this inciting strike as well, which talk to me a little bit about, it says slashes twice in a forward cone while adding additional threat. Talk to me a little bit about threat as a mechanic that we utilize in Ashes.
Yeah, I mean, threat is, again, something a lot of people are familiar with. The person with the highest threat holds aggro on the target, and that's, again, a major role of the tank is...
Why would you dodge?
Holding aggro on target so that your party members don't get attacked is pretty simple and straightforward.
Didn't Steven say he was a tank?
There may
Like,
be some other interesting things that we want to do with threat down the line, but right now, we'll have basic things that increase your...
Yeah, we're just gonna, I don't know.
We'll ignore that for now, I guess.
Ooh, we pulled some of the shades.
Yeah, we need to be careful with these guys.
Focus fire. Pick a target. Steven, pull threat. Pull threat, Steven.
Well, these guys are much tankier.
Hit one.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't hit one yet.
And so these slashing strikes are giving me additional threat that will pull the targets helpful to me. I guess at this level I'm not too threatened.
One is the shield bash icon. He ain't got a shield.
Oh, that's true. It's lit up though, so it's like a. Can he still use it? Maybe because he's got a two-hand, like a big sword, and he hits a hilt. I don't know. I mean, that'd be interesting, but
Yeah, but
if he used a different ability, we would know.
I mean, that's the icon from the alpha.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I like that the stop ability. What is that ability doing?
I think they're fighting Steven.
Stop ability?
Yeah, this tremoring bellow.
Ah, yes. So that's a big ability that does a combination of damage and CC. Especially if you use it on a snared target, the big PBOE
What's going on?
Trip targets knocking it down. Sorry, I can't push to talk and heal at the same time.
I think threat might be an issue in the game at this point.
Yeah.
It is alpha though, so I mean.
I like it.
Aegis. I like this. Instantly dispels all negative effects on the caster.
Oh, but it's not stopping damage.
Interesting thing it does is
Right.
anybody in the area behind the tank will redirect a portion of their damage back to the tank. So
Oh.
you can really screw the tank if the tank's not ready for it, but it's a great way to protect the party.
Yeah, but the tank uses that ability, so they should know if they're ready.
Hammer of Corin.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Now, I am the tank. I need this hammer. Please do not.
Don't use logic, sir.
I know. I'm
Tank gets all the loot.
I'm sitting here planning ahead.
Put a need. No, I'm gonna put a need here.
Ninja loot.
Hey, I got it. Yay! Very cool.
Someone else should have needed it.
I guess it depends on what tank. Who's playing the tank?
Well, yeah, right.
I think you can equip it now. It looks like it has better damage than your current two-hander.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now how do I compare?
You can't.
I think you just hover over in your bag. Does it?
Oh, it's shift.
Is it
Yeah,
shift?
I can see my great blade. So it is a bit better. It looks like it's got some strength and physical penetration.
Okay.
Okay, let's try it. Let me see what this.
So one-handed hammer. Okay.
Oh yeah, not bad. Let me see.
Chews up the ground a little while he scoots through the ground. Or
Talk to me a little bit about that.
oh, Steven, you pulled.
Yeah. So Meadow and Myers and I. Meadow and Myers are two of our glorious animators.
Oh, why is he sliding everywhere?
We grabbed some new poses, and we were really focused around holding the pose in between the swings, so you get that satisfying break between.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But there's a lot of nuance to it.
That almost was like robotic, where it's like swing down, hold, swing up, hold.
Heavy and sticky.
Like,
how do we make sure that the player is breaking out of the animation at the right time to get that feeling of control? And there's just a lot of fine-tuning that goes into it, but I think we've got a really good method to give consistent results with our weapon combos now.
Yeah, it's looking good. I like it. And you can see obviously the directional hit impact effects. That's pretty cool.
Also, I don't know if he's like pushing forward as he's swinging, so he's making his character slide.
Yeah, I think they look great.
yeah, that's true. It could be Steven for all we know, and
Very nice. That's not bad.
but
You know,
I don't know. That still felt weird. Like
MMOs is oftentimes the experience at lower.
it's like it moved too much. Like I get if you do like a half step forward, but not like 5 steps.
Pace is kind of a ramp building up to, I guess, what would be the late game experience, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he slid teleported.
you kind of want to have that a little bit of ramp there, right? Because there's that power fantasy of the MMOs, but we don't need to start people in the dumps necessarily.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Hey, Trad, you're not doing too bad of a job keeping people up.
I've had some practice.
Well, let me switch over to action.
Does this not look as good as the last stream, like quality-wise?
This is 720p video, so maybe that's why.
No, I mean like
Yeah, I imagine it's only gonna
just
get
as
better from here.
well. I don't know. It just seems like it's a little more wonky.
Like, kind of see if we can pull just
Maybe.
Oh god. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Let's kill the one that's aggroed by the melee.
Let me shield us.
I just kind of assumed it was because I downloaded 720 instead of 1080, because that was like a 17 gig video file because it was a 4-hour video.
Stop rotating ages out of us.
Yeah, you gotta keep us in it.
Okay, so
No, like the mobs themselves almost look like they're.
to the tank, right?
I don't know. They're just not smooth.
That wherever the tank
Oh.
is, you probably
Yeah, let me pay attention to that then.
Definitely a
That's one
skill
way to
component
look
there
at
for the tank, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, some would say that.
Yeah.
Others would say for the party.
It's like, it keeps switching who it's targeting to,
Action mode now, Steven.
Yes, I am.
and it doesn't feel smooth when it switches.
Differently now that you're in action mode.
Oh yeah, talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, there seems to be
Alright,
I don't know.
Steven, use your grapple. Oh, you ruined it.
difference between action mode and tab mode. Really, those are just two like targeting and input schemes, and the underlying abilities don't actually.
Yay, body puller.
Yeah, and then we were also talking about having the ability to kind of customize.
Steven,
each
just
particular ability's
grab
functionality.
aggro. Plant your feet.
But yes, there are some differences
I-
between action games and tab
Got a dead guy.
that abilities are constructed that we figured it largely comes down to personal preference.
Don't leave your man behind.
He moves way too much.
On each
Yeah,
ability,
he
and if you
really
like the way that it
does.
works in typical action games, you can configure your tab targeting ability to work that same way if we support
Oh, it's the pile of ashes.
and vice versa. If you like the way that it works in tab target mode by default, you can configure it to work that way in action mode as well.
Very cool. I like it. How do we get you back up? I see you're just a pile of ashes here.
Yeah, I might need to respawn, or if I could get a quick res.
Oh.
Yes. Magical words, waving my hands around. Res.
Yes. Whee! Welcome
Arise,
back.
Yunan. Arise.
Yay.
That was an okay revive.
All right, let's do this. How do we? What's the best route we should take here? Oh, okay. Ooh, remains of Oaken Vein.
You might want to turn up the volume on the stream.
Well, let's
Sure.
not pull yet. I want to show off something. So, one thing you guys will notice is that these abilities have effects on the surrounding foliage. So when I use my
Sounds
shout,
better.
you'll see it lays down an imprint on the grass. Look at that!
That's a nice visual. Doesn't stay that long
One
though.
thing I haven't used yet, but I really love the icon for, is that grit. It looks like. Let me see what grit says. So, 4 meter range applies a buff to the caster. Let's see, reducing incoming damage by 15%, but also reducing movement speed by 30% and outgoing damage by 20%. Okay, so it's an additional mitigation at the cost of speed and damage. Each incoming hit consumes a stack of courage to reduce incoming damage by an additional 15%. Talk to me a little bit about courage.
Courage is a passive mechanic currently on the tank. It's a resource specific to the tank where you can build it up by taking damage. Each hit you take will generate a stack. And then, but only if you don't have grit active. As soon as you have grit active, instead of gaining stacks when you take damage, each stack is consumed per hit and then gives you additional mitigation per stack you consume. So it's pretty much a thing where you want to pop that in more of an emergency situation where the tank's in trouble.
Okay, makes
but
sense.
You don't want to be doing that when you're not taking a lot of damage, because it's actually going to hurt your threat output too. Because if your damage is lower, you're doing less damage, therefore you're building less threat.
Oh, I pulled 3.
Hold aggro on the resident. Let's kill the echo.
I'm doing Aegis. Keep me up. Oh god! No. The Aegis really consumed a lot of damage. I moved back.
Steven failed so fast.
I need heals. Oh god. Okay.
I don't know how well this is going to work out.
Well, our DPS of course pulled 3.
Oh my god.
Sorry, guys.
Let's
Typical ranger.
Let's train him out. Wow, that Aegis really dropped me quick.
Well, you were
combined with
counting
the
the damage for us.
3 mobs.
So
Why?
the Aegis is essentially something.
Why would you just run away?
Where you guys, any damage done, so long as you're in that area of effect for Aegis, gets transferred to me. And is that post or pre-mitigated damage?
It's pre-mitigated.
Oh my god.
Well, that's even worse.
Well, no, if it considers your mitigation, so
Okay.
yeah.
Res me.
Res this.
If they could have double mitigation, that'd be great.
Arise. Well done. This is amazing.
Huzzah.
This is how resing works in our game.
Let me try to pull. Oh god. What'd you pull?
We didn't even.
Okay, alright, we can do this.
It's only one, Steven.
Do an AoE.
Yeah, the existential dread of when you hear a ranger in your group's bow shot. It's like, oh god, what did he pull?
What have you
These guys collapse.
Getting nuked.
Yeah, this guy just
Ow.
he did clap
God.
you. Oh my god, he's clapping everyone.
What is up? This guy's jacked.
What is this clap we speak of? Oh no.
Let's give the tank a little bit of time to build for.
Yeah, can I get some red? Unbelievable. Cool.
You're right about the NPCs. The mobs are looking a little funny. They almost go to like a weird T-pose in between every ability.
Watch out,
One
watch
at
out.
a time.
Oh.
These are lead mobs. They are not to be taken lightly. I didn't even do anything in that battle.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. I'm doing some inciting strikes. I've grabbed aggro. I have secured the aggro.
They need to hurry up and add like a targeted target up here.
Sorry, guys. I'll try to do less damage.
Secured aggro. As soon as you said that, the mob turned around and started beating up the cleric.
Yeah, he had nothing.
Shield drops off a mob around here. Where is that guy spawned?
Yeah, up on the ramparts there, where I'm looking.
I really do need a shield because I know we have active block that we want to talk about as well. Where
Again, they should. I don't know what script is because it just seems like they're so lost.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
At least the guys with him kind of know where they're going, but the host, Steven, should have his plan.
Swapping the echo because it's killing me.
Oh god. I was on
You're trying to showcase the game. I don't care about your play style, the abilities, the mobs, whatever else you're trying to showcase.
Right. I agree. Maybe with Margaret in her communication role, she'll be able to do that and help.
That went a little bit better.
Yeah, it's kind of rich for me to say this now, but one of the things that I've always liked about playing tank is the ability to set the tempo of the run.
Yes, that is rich of you to say, as a ranger who's been killing multiple monsters. Yeah.
We'll see who
Real rich.
really plays that tank.
Well, see, the tank has to know, it has to have like.
Did you
really
body
good
pull
party
again?
awareness, right? Like you have to know how your healer's doing. Do they have mana? You have to know how like agitated and sweaty your DPS are. Like, are they gonna?
I'm probably being a little more picky, but you should know his abilities.
Well, like you said, if they're showcasing the game, they should have planned that ahead of time and done a couple minutes of practicing what a tank does.
I think we're gonna body pull.
Yeah, these two in the bottom.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
All right. We pull through.
Don't worry, he's been doing it all stream. He's good at it.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
But like this right now, he's got grit on. They told him like less than 5 minutes ago, oh, that lessens your threat.
Right, and he hasn't pulled threat once. So, oh, they pulled another guy.
I'm running. No, I'm slow because of this thing. Don't pull more.
Steven, where are you going?
Oh, too late.
It's like a boss.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I mean, he's running away through enemy mobs.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me grab him with
Oh crap! They've respawned.
Oh, they ran through the other stuff.
So this is my problem right now. This is supposed to be a tank showcase. Right now, I don't know what the heck this is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I will res and we'll see how it goes.
He's a big boy though, and he's looking at me. He's definitely looking at me.
Yeah, just res and heal Steven.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Now, why didn't Steven try to like crouch and sit and heal?
Let me pull him and get some aggro.
Not yet. Steven? No. You're down 200 health. Yeah. Oh, no.
Welcome to the pain train. What's happening?
Yeah, why is it...
Pain train.
Why is that thing, like, jerking around like that every time he gets hit? It doesn't need to get pushed around every time.
That's what I said. It just seems like it's a little bit...
It's like every time it gets hit by Steven, or a big blow, it has to, like, it's animating that. And it's killing the animation of its attack.
Oh my god, this is hurting. I feel like
like right there, it looked like it's having a seizure.
Yeah. I don't know how they kill that, but...
Oh, he has a tower shield!
Whatever.
Nice.
Okay, let me... Please don't.
Yeah, I'd be sweating that.
You know, I've been taking a lot of damage this run.
Please no bully. Please no bully.
Okay, so he's just traveling around gathering gear?
Yeah, tank themed gear, I guess.
Shall be complete
Rangers get so much hate.
with the shield. Oh,
Alright,
Okay, here at the beginning of it, you have all your tank gear. Then you showcase the tanking abilities.
Look at that.
Right.
My active
Yeah, I don't care about
block.
you looting as you
That
go.
unlocks a new ability for you too.
I don't know, 10 minutes into this video,
Oh, yes. That's going to be the
something
shield
like that.
assault. Let me
Of
try that shield
them
assault.
killing
this.
random mobs and
Okay,
not doing
actually,
well.
Is there any way we can go around this? A lot of people over there.
Alright, pick the. Oh, there's two guys there.
One's behind us.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter
let's
where we
thread
go.
the needle. We're gonna thread the needle. We're threading it, and we're threading it, and we're walking, and we are now jumping to the target.
Jump on this guy.
Oh, I was a little short. Story of my life.
Yeah, shield assault's good too.
Oh, he pulled another one.
All right, stand behind me.
Ferguson's dead.
That's what happens when you don't wait for aggro.
3.
Keep me up. Keep me up. Oh, it's hurting.
Oh no.
Active block. Block me.
Res, Brian, res.
Blocking. I'm blocking for you, Brian. Arise.
Sorry, Keenan. Heals are reserved for the tank.
I guess these guys have mechanics.
Oh my god.
Like, none of my questions about tanking are getting answered.
Right. I don't know what this active blocking is. Like, I don't know what's going on with this. Like, he put his shield up, held it.
It's not too bad.
Like, did it
Does
stop?
that affect your threat?
We need a big
Right.
group.
Does it? Yeah. Do you lose threat when you do active block? Because then
We run through
that's-
this. Let me run. I just want to get. up
you
to
have
the
to use it
where's the
so
next boss?
smartly. Then.
Do you know where that
And
is?
yeah, the next boss is up a few sections, so yeah, we need to go
Let's
past this.
heal
Yeah, I wouldn't
first.
want active blocking then, because if you do that,
This dude right here.
you lose threat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
It's like the only time that would be useful is during like a boss mechanic, maybe, when they're already locked on you and they're just maybe beating on you, and you just put the shield up and be like, well, I'm gonna lose threat afterwards, but I'll
Or
survive this.
PvP.
Wave. Yeah,
So
PvP.
you don't just like overshoot an enemy. Because there's gonna
Yeah,
be a bit
who
of
can,
annoying sometimes
you,
with
you,
free
you
firing,
can't force threat on
PvP skills.
a player, so.
Nice. That's super.
Yeah, you should shield bash into Tremoring Bellows. That should give you some good snap threat.
What? I mean, I can't
Okay,
taunt?
let's try that. I'm gonna shield bash into the tremoring bellow.
Okay, that was a nice little move there.
Yeah, there's some synergy. I like it.
But I don't know what the thing was. They just said they did two moves.
A snare. And then that snare gets promoted into a trip from the tremoring bellow. The shout.
He did a shield bash, and then I think it's the number 3.
It must know.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a combo with another player. Maybe I was mistaken. Okay.
Oh my god, look at that aggro. I know, right?
Oh, he actually has threat? Or...
Yeah, he mixed 2. He did 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's not
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's much better. I like that.
I don't know why this archer's always so close to the group.
Around, so this big keep thing in front of us, we got to go around it. Yeah,
Okay.
the idea.
Let me target this dude.
Alright. Oh, okay, I see it.
Easy.
Steven, why are you moving?
Oh, dude, this shield and hammer. I love it.
We lost threat.
Yeah, I mean, active blocking combined with crit and stacks
I
of
think I'd have to
coverage
kill my
and
own
a
tank
ton
if he
of
did that.
That's not bad. Let me go up on this guy.
He's gonna pull two, probably. No, maybe not.
Bellow. Alright. Blocks are happening.
Archer, why are you in the AoE?
Now talk to me a little bit about that active
And then he
block.
pulled.
How much damage is that mitigating and what's the damage mitigation predicated on?
Sure. Currently, and this is a bit of a work in progress. So,
Okay, so he even did the combo that he was supposed to do, and he still lost to aggro.
Right.
Again, it's alpha. I get it, but
mitigation, so you must have the incoming damage.
That archer must be putting out so much DPS right now that it's just, it's unbalanced.
We're still exploring resource systems to associate with it, whether that is mana or stamina system. That should be coming soon. And we'll obviously be prototyping with different things there, collecting feedback.
well, you could see the chunk he took down when he did the snipe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no! I think I can loot your body though.
Am I in heels timeout, Tread?
Reserved for the tank.
You know, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. I don't know
Sometimes
how
you have
that's
to-
relevant.
You have to teach DPS the hard way to not pull active.
That's half the fun of being a healer, right? That power. Power over the life.
You might have missed there, buddy.
Oh, I love these guys' effects. The lighting looks great here. Jim, John, and Matt did a great job.
Oh yeah, the lightning is sweet.
Yeah, it's really good.
And the animations look awesome too. I think Brad was doing a lot of these, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that was a good pull.
We didn't really call it out, but we got hit by a super cool attack from one of the earlier named mobs.
Oh, which one was that?
I was the first one, I think.
Oh, the warden?
I was trying to get into position and he did like a drop 4 lightning bolts down.
All right, I think, are we going up this way? Oh,
Yep.
yeah, I can see one of the original trees up there.
Oh, a tree.
So these, apparently, I think the trees in this area, or at least once was the trees in this area, had some magical properties, and now there's only one that's like a remnant remaining. That is the last remaining tree.
Would that be a contested resource?
What's that guy do with tanking?
Good lumber or something?
Probably.
What was that? Sorry.
Only a couple of these trees and you want to chop them down. Come on, man.
Well,
Hey, that guy dropped
You
a
know,
monster
remember
cert.
did he? Did he drop a monster?
He's talking about trees and stuff. I get it. He's just trying to give some information about the game, lore, blah, blah, blah. But
Okay.
Yeah.
can you focus just a little
What do
bit?
we do with those guys?
Yeah, if you can just like get through this and show us
Yes,
like
many,
the
many things.
mechanics.
Pay for your property with that.
Like I've been watching the that courage buff. It's right now he has a 2-stack. It looks like it clears out real fast. Like it's I don't know how many seconds it is, but it's quick. How fast it reduces or what goes away. Like you got to be really getting beat up to build the stack and hold it.
No, he doesn't have one.
Your threat management's gotten a lot better now, Steven.
Yes, this shield is very helpful, actually.
Oh, the duration of the time.
Yeah. How long that buff is there to use?
Down a little bit.
Yeah.
He just activated Aegis when they had a 1-stack. There goes that.
Boss up here, right? What's he?
I don't know what he does, but I do know what he dropped.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're trying to complete our Titan Bark armor set.
Mm-hmm.
I have most of the pieces.
We got road in the back.
Oh, yep.
Where is it? Come here. I do like the subtlety of the Aegis, or excuse me, of the grit. And I can activate. That's a toggleable ability that I can activate kind of.
Maybe not having the party names red and also the mobs red.
I was literally just looking at that. I'm like, when he turned around, I'm like, oh, did they gain a 5th member that I didn't know about?
In other games where you can activate it, mid activation of a different ability.
I mean, it's like a slightly different tint, but it's Steven.
Oh no.
But still not enough.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, he knocked all of them down.
Get behind me.
Good.
Oh no.
And
Whoop.
Keenan.
What is he doing?
At least get that one down. He's almost dead.
You know what? Here, let me cheat a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all right, Keenan, it's up to you now. Dodge roll.
I'm up. I have respawned.
Keenan's doing better by himself than with the whole group.
These NPCs are like, what cheaters reported?
Okay.
So we need to go this way.
Let's do it.
We still got one to deal with here.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we gotta take out the mini boss down below before we go up top. He's hiding back there on that platform.
Where is he?
Yep. Back on that ruins back there. Archers.
Oh, I see him. What does he have?
You want a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
No spoiler. Let me see if I can pull him down without grabbing anything else. Hold on.
Nope. Aggro.
Oh, shoot. Oh,
Steven's going a little too quick. His range DPS has like no mana left.
my God.
And he's backing up in that boss.
Oh, the sound is so great. Captain took the big
You guys are doing great. Needed some mana.
Yeah, that NPC animation where it's like stuttering, seizuring is like really off-putting now that I've paid attention to it.
Grabbing in 3, 2, and 1. I cannot see it.
Yeah, it's fine if you don't
Line of
look.
sight.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
Around. We want.
Oh.
Okay, you got it.
Let me see.
Do we want to pull him back here?
Aggro.
Oh,
Come on over here,
you
buddy.
pulled too many.
We got the ad.
Let's focus the ad. DPS.
Alright, stand
Steven.
behind me.
Steven, stay on the boss. Oh, there's two
Come
ads.
on,
Yeah, you
boss.
just
Come on,
run.
boss. I'm active blocking. Oh, I don't know if the active blocking works against the lightning, but I do have the aggro.
It should work.
Who made active block? He's like, it works. I made it.
Yeah, because you're the only one attacking that target.
0 currently.
Yeah.
I think we have 2 ads now.
We activate grip. Oh, oh my God.
Why? Yeah, I would be better off he was just hit a training dummy
Eye on the ads.
and explaining the abilities.
That's almost
Yeah.
done.
Knocked him.
Or like dueling or something against another player. Guy stands there, you beat on him, then you know he'll shoot back at you or something like that. And then you could do like have one cleric you're up against, and then you see how the cleric interacts with the shielding,
Gonna be able to do that.
and then a range caster like the archer get their perspective of how that works with the active blocking. I don't know.
No, I'm dust.
That's all we need. It's just we don't need a whole montage of him dying.
Guys, as you know,
I do enjoy seeing this, but
sometimes get into areas that are
sometimes it's a little too much.
above our pay grade.
Yeah, this is an 8-man area, guys. We're not bad. I promise.
Yeah, we're not bad. We're not bad.
Not that bad.
Let's,
Some loot on him, doesn't
oh, did he have loot? Let me. I'm sorry. Let me come grab it. Can somebody pick it up? I'll roll on it. Let me see here. I got it. Ooh, Titan bark leggings. Okay, and another hunting certificate. Grab these things because we didn't have to roll on that one. Oh, and I didn't have to roll on this either. I didn't have to roll on those leggings.
Oh,
Sweet.
was the loot setting set to
Loot master. Not round robin. I swear I didn't ninja change that. I apologize. I think Dread changed it.
Was it me?
We should change it back maybe for this mouse up here. I feel bad.
How do I even change that?
Well, how? I hope it's the group leader that can change it, not some random people.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Got that back, Aggro.
the group, and I don't know who's the leader. Steven's got a little padlock on it, but I don't know what that.
Yeah, there's no icon.
Yeah.
Knocked him.
Oh wait, no. Dread has a little crown next to his name.
Oh my God! It spawned on top of us.
So the cleric has.
Oh, okay.
Just a baby little crown. It really should be something like gold around the class icon or something.
This guy out from the middle. Got him. All right.
How many? What are we doing?
Oh no! See if I can knock him down. Grab some aggro. All right. Got a few of them.
Yeah, that color name bars are screwing me up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, especially when Steven's spinning like that. I don't know where I'm looking.
What's happening? We're doing it. We're doing it, boys.
Okay, so from what I understand, Aegis only is
All right.
viable if you have people in it.
It looks like there's
Correct.
one up top.
Because it's really for protecting people behind you. But when they get damaged, it reflects part of that damage onto the tank.
Let's just go through here. Let's go through
So, unless your mitigation's really high or you got a lot of health, like, Aegis is just a suicide.
Rangers back there, far away. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Who's getting mana?
I'm gonna pull this guy. Come on over here.
Oh, you pulled the boss.
Oh, okay, I got the boss.
But unless you have some like other cooldown that gives you a defensive ability or boost, and then you use that in tandem with it.
Oh. Well, that courage buff he's getting every time he gets hit does an extra 15%, I think, when Aegis is activated. So, I mean, he does get extra bonus, so he has to get beat up first a bit, and then he can get more benefit. But yeah, there has to be some other cooldown he combined it with to get more of a bonus.
All right.
Rip.
Guys,
I'm gonna just die in a safe area over here.
Yeah. Okay, you distract them.
Do we just want to like die here and then start over?
No, wait, hold on. Yeah, let's go up here on this ridge maybe. Can we go on the bridge? Oh no! Oh my God! Ah! How did they do this?
No! Don't
Maybe
go back
I can
up there.
drag them.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
Oh, the tree looks. So
What'd you expect? You
beautiful.
ran right to him.
Getting a glimpse of it before my death.
I don't.
Okay,
They could have
successfully pulled
totally
that.
just
I'm gonna
brought
look at the chamber he was in.
4 more guys in for at least the ending here.
Over here.
Had another tank, another of every profession
Oh my God!
or class.
No.
Just had a ball with it. That would have made this whole ending way better.
Oh, even not even a tank. You could just stuff more archers and more fighters.
Right.
7 seconds.
Well, I mean, with Steven, we might want an extra tank, but
I died though in a mausoleum,
but yeah,
so it's okay.
I mean, obviously with the damage that Archer's putting
They're
out,
still looking
like
at me. Okay.
throw 2 more of those in, but if they could
You
clear
don't have one now.
Let me think here. How can we do this? How should you guys come closer, maybe?
Yeah, we can clear some and get closer.
Okay, I've grabbed the boss again.
Let's kill this Echo.
Yep.
I can hold here, maybe. If I activate my. Okay, that's helping a little bit. Oh yeah, he's not too bad. He's not bad.
So,
He's hit me for like
with his active block up, he's not gaining any of that courage. He actually has to be taking damage without the active block. It looked like.
I'm leaving.
So it doesn't even help you
Yep. I'm
with
coming.
Aegis or anything.
Oh, nice. Yes, well done. I knocked him down. Grabbing aggro.
So you don't want to use active block if you have grit or what the heck.
Yeah, grid and then the courage buff or whatever it was.
Knocked again.
At least from what it looks like. And it looks like it caps out at a 10 stack.
And we got more aggro.
Knocked him again.
And then once you activate Aegis, every hit you're going to lose a stack. I mean, that can go quick.
Knock some targets down. We got. Oh, okay. I'm ashes again. Guys, swear we're
Good.
good at our own game.
We're
We are good at that.
good at our own game. Okay.
I'm coming back up.
At this point, you guys might as well just keep instant resin just to keep the fight going and burn it down.
Let's do this. We got one down.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but they're gonna
part of the
respawn
skill in this
before
area
you.
that I do like, and that we're not executing greatly on at the moment, is your positioning and your navigation through the area. It's really important to choose your poles wisely and the rest of the area.
Oh God.
I'm dead.
All right. You know what? This guy,
It's all
I think,
dying.
is just too powerful for us. Maybe he's too strong. Maybe I need to let him reset. Let's let him reset just for a second. Audience,
Okay.
you get to watch us, just take the long road. We're taking the longer road. The road less traveled, some might say. Okay.
It released me.
I'm gonna resurrect, and I am going to employ some god powers. You will die. Do not speak to me with such insolence,
So,
Resident.
what kind of death penalty and
Lord
experience
Oakenbane, I
debuffs
call
are
you
they
forth
acquired?
to suffer the
Oh,
consequences
that's
of your
right.
actions. You
Man, they would have lost.
are no longer
I don't know how much reduction they're going to plan on, but they would
He has been
lose
destroyed, ladies and
levels here.
gentlemen. And he had the Titan bark chest plate.
GG.
GG. I'm gonna grab some of these things. Grab that. Ooh. Now, yet again, I do believe that I need this. This is some tank stuff. And let's see this armor.
Did you get the legs?
Oh, did I get the
'Cause
legs?
I've got.
Ooh, I wonder if they're gonna let
Right.
anyone need on anything, or is it
Grab the legs?
only if you can? Well,
Yeah, well,
Because you can equip any gear.
Robin, so
Can you trade
Right.
it to me?
I think so. I sent you.
I mean, it sounded like. I mean, the
I got a
warrior,
request.
whatever, he needed for the legs. I mean, maybe he could
I
use.
will
Yeah.
accept your trade request. I don't.
Item is not tradable.
Oh no!
Oh no, they screwed up.
That's okay. What are the names of those legs? Or where did we get them from?
We got them from this arborist named down here.
Let's go back to him real quick.
He's just gonna go delete.
I don't think he's there.
Is he no longer there? Oh, did he not respawn?
Not yet, no.
Oh, that's sad. Well, let me see if I can grab them. What are the name of those? Real quick, guys. I'm gonna cheat just so you get to see the set.
I think Titan Bark.
Titan bark.
Yeah.
Steven, you have the rest of the
Does it
set.
pull up the legging?
Let me see. Give item Titan bark 1. Bark.
Are they making an MMORPG, or are they just
No, it
making
didn't
a
do that.
fashion show?
Let me see. Titan. Titan bark legs.
Yeah.
Done.
And there was like 4 legs in there, but
Like, great, we get to see the set, but honestly, I'd
Now,
rather
just
just
so
see
you
the
know, for
abilities.
audience,
Yeah,
we,
I would have too.
Are recording this. It is 10:13 a.m. on Friday. We don't do any edits. You get to see the stuff in the raw, and that is why there.
So they made this video, like,
sometimes
right-
can be bugs, of course.
a couple
That's
hours
still
before the
intentional,
stream.
but you do get the
why'd they
idea, and you get to
rush
give us
it?
your feedback. So, with that being said, I am now going to equip all of the Titan.
Well, they
bark
delayed the stream.
glory.
Oh,
Ooh, it looks nice. I like it. I like it.
I mean, it looks like a good set,
That. Let me go run up here.
but
This is not bad. I love the tree too.
I like with his armor
That's
upgrade.
very
He-
cool.
He got significantly more tanky.
he got-
Put that stuff on.
We had to go through all that just to see the set.
Yeah, but look at his health going up now. He could have been putting this on as he went.
Friend? I feel slightly tankier. Oh,
Yeah, I got a new item, but I'm not gonna put it on until I have the set.
That boss has been dispatched. It is dead
For now.
for now.
Steven, I'm gonna be honest. If you ever watch this video, you really should have put the set on as you went. You would have died less.
I like it. That's very cool. I do love the grass getting manipulated.
Yeah, Steven, the grass looks nice. It's a very nice touch, but
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Maybe I think it would look cooler if there's like larger scale abilities that are like massive AOE's, and then it would hit a huge area. But it's a nice little touch. As long as it doesn't wear out your system and add lag. The second it adds lag, throw it out.
Obviously, as we said, this is a work in progress. There are still a lot of things that need to be done, but this is an
Let's say you have like a group of 16 and you're in a field of grass.
Weapon attacks. How do you like the ability uses, the sound, the
Yeah,
environment, the monsters?
everybody's going to be making little
everything
little tidal waves. It's up and down.
Oh my god. It's obviously so. I'm going to move over here. It's obviously so important that you guys give us the feedback on all the channels.
We got over 1,000 health with that armor set.
On Twitter and on YouTube.
Damn it, Steven.
Appreciate it. And with that being said, Keenan, Trad, Brian, thank you guys for joining us. This was super fun. I had a lot of fun. I hope the audience did as well. You guys are doing awesome work. And with that being said, we will see you all back on stream. Bye, guys.
Cheers.
You guys, never run away.
Hold on. When Alpha 2 comes out, they need to do their live streams with actual players.
Well, we hope that you guys
and get them in there.
We will have some
and then
of
have
that
them
video playing in the
play
background.
the game and then do the
I know
elements
that
or whatever.
There's a lot of questions. I tried to grab some of them as best I could. But of course, we won't get to everything today. But if you have any other questions for us, or if you have thoughts, which I see a lot of thoughts from y'all, we have a couple threads up, one regarding tanking and one regarding like UI and looting. So if you have thoughts on those things, definitely go give us.
Yeah, but the UI and looting was so minuscule. Like, okay, it was a pop-up that said need, greed,
reports together for developers,
whatever, ignore,
present those, and we discuss them. And
pass.
A lot of the times, we're all on the same page. We're already thinking those things. So I'm going to go through some of the things that you guys had questions about here, which is first and foremost, there were a lot of
it's like you had to focus, and all of a sudden you went squirrel.
Right.
How holding threat works because you were holding threat at some point.
I know. Well, it's important to remember that these previews are done at a very low level, right? So these are low level skills and abilities that the archetypes have available to them. And so because of that, some of the functionality from these abilities, they don't necessarily perform as well as you would want them to in a later stage of the game for that role.
But you should still be able to hold aggro
also
with other level 15.
Balance is a perspective that needs to be incorporated also. So threat is generated based off of a few factors. It's based off of damage done. It's based off of healing done. It's based off of threat generation modifiers that are on abilities. Now the tank in this situation, I believe, has two abilities that are going to generate additional threat. They have the slicing, the number 2 ability, and then they also have the shout ability. Both of those are creating additional threat. But with that being said, we need to tune probably those abilities up a little bit to contend with the DPS that's coming both from the Ranger and with the heals that are coming out of the...
Your tank has to have some kind of base boost to threat generation,
and,
not just abilities.
Right. Even if it's like a 1.2 or like a 20% boost, some flat level, I should be able to hold threat
you got the shield afterwards.
Relatively easy, unless somebody with a burst really comes in. Then I might need to use like a taunt.
Incoming damage with weapons that aren't using a shield. However, you will be able to active block with that currently as it stands in the design. And then the other question about active block was, I'm sorry.
It was the shield one, and the other one was, will all classes get active block? So it's like, can you active block without a shield? And then also...
so you can active block without a shield, and all classes can active block.
How do you active block without a shield?
At the moment.
And then, are there iframes in dodges when you're dodging?
We aren't using iframes for dodging. However,
Hold up my
we are
bow,
toying with the idea of
blocks
a dodge
things.
increasing certain
Blocks
stats
pebbles
on
as they
opposed
bounce off the
checks,
wood.
such as accuracy versus evasion, and potentially boosting mitigation depending on how the player might spec into certain passives that augment their dodge ability.
That's some serious skill if I could block
And
a
there are a
arrow
lot
with
of
my bow.
questions regarding
Right.
UI stuff, but I'll start with the performance thing, which was people were saying that it was really cool seeing the grass get knocked down and stuff like that, but people are worried about like GPU drain, and they were curious
Okay,
if they're
yeah.
able to toggle that off.
Yeah, so there's a lot of bells and whistles that are intended on the client rendering side for these types of features that players will have the ability to scale up or down or off from a
Okay.
performance perspective.
And then, I think people are wondering if this video is with UE.
Why even have
5.1,
that feature in there if you know
because
it's a
we've been talking
GPU
about the
drain?
fact that we are going to be
Just
swapping
don't even
to
have it in the game.
No,
Right.
5.1 is not.
It's like for role
scheduled to
players.
complete until probably another week or two. We're moving over to that.
Cool. And then we have UI stuff, which is, will there be an auto loot option?
Yeah, but they've already said this
A lot of people
before, is
saw
that
you
the
were
game is not
manually
made to be
looting things,
played
and they were
solo.
curious if there would be an auto
Right.
loot, or
So
if they could
you're
have some kind
gonna
of pet
want
that would
people
auto
with
loot
you.
for them.
Oh, I know
There
that,
can
but
be
then
auto
they throw
loot,
these weird oddball
however,
things in.
We are toying with the idea on the interact
I
of
don't know.
double tapping or some other type of keystroke input that would not require you to interact with the loot container itself, but would just grab everything off of it. Especially if there's multiple loot
I'd like
piles within
that.
a proximity radius. It would have to be very close proximity radius. You could double tap to interact with all those and pull them in.
And then there were a lot of thoughts on the nameplates and how it's kind of hard to tell mobs versus your party because everything
Yes.
is red. I know their nameplates aren't complete yet, but I don't know if you want
Right.
to talk a little bit about the direction of where that's headed.
Yeah, so nameplates really actually require a big
Yay, we're not the
refactor
only
on our
ones.
end that we haven't done yet. However, that is something that tech art and engineering, as well as our UX UI team, are going to be doing over the course of probably the next month to month and a half. It's a big refactor both from performance reasons, how we're going to be able to occlude those nameplates with in-world obstacles in line of sight, as well as prioritizing and clamping their sizes and distances that need a bit of a refactor, and of course their visual appearance. So that's work that's still outstanding.
And I think that kind of ties in line with being able to tell like whether an enemy is an elite or not, and also just kind
Correct,
of
yes.
different types of mobs.
Yeah, that's
and of
general
course-
UX
go ahead.
treatment of the nameplates. That's going to include, which has already begun a little bit, but is going to include, as you said, those indicators like resistances, buffs that are present, whether they're elite or not. They'll have probably a star format to indicate that with their hit point allocation. There's a lot of treatments from a UX perspective that needs to be included in the artwork.
Is their power level over 9,000? That's the question.
Right.
And then, of course, we have.
Why do I feel like
will
this game is
bosses
2 to
look
3
different
years
than
out
regular
still?
Mobs, or is this kind of just a placeholder to show that, hey?
Yeah, honestly, when they
the
said it's
boss
going
in
to take
this
a month
area
and a
is little
half
bigger than the other
to
ones,
do
but
the UI
the
still,
difference
just
in
for the
that.
name tags, I'm like,
Yeah,
what the
so
hell?
it kind of depends on the types of bosses we're talking about, right? We have regional, we have hunting ground, we have elites, we have mini bosses, we have dungeon bosses, we have raid bosses. There's a lot of different types of creature types. And these in particular are more really elite spawns for this location. They're not really probably considered bosses because they can be handled by a single party. But the rare spawns obviously have a longer respawn time. And so sometimes you'll see that they're scaled up from a size perspective, but most of the time you're going to see if it's a named mob that it's going to have a unique character appearance.
And then will there be range indicators for abilities? So for instance, like if I have ability that can be used within X amount of meters, can I kind of see that as I'm using it versus, just hitting it and then seeing that it does it?
You mean from like
Like if I have a grapple that has like a range of
perfect.
60 meters, right? Can I see
Yes.
When you
that
target it,
distance?
So it
you have something
depends.
targeted,
Yeah.
It
and your
depends. With
icons
the
will be
target
lit up if
ability,
it's you're in range.
the
Yeah.
indicator
But
when
Grapple
targeted
did that.
will tell you grayed out or not that the ability can be used based on distance. If it is a templated ability, which means it's a skill based use, you'll need to get a feel for those distances, and that's kind of some skill based learning
Okay.
where you get an idea for what those distances are. Some of those will have template indicators, but they'll be very in world and immersive. We're not utilizing more UI centric looking indicators, but generally the AOE templates are meant to be kind of skill based.
And then when it comes to tanking, will it be primarily the tank archetypes that will be able to tank, or can other people tank?
No, I mean, other people can tank. It really depends on the setting, right? If we're talking like high-end raiding or dungeoneering and playing in these areas that require a main tank, that role and responsibility lies to the tank archetype. Now, tank archetypes can obviously take secondary archetype selections, and they can hybridize across different roles. That'll give them a bit of horizontal utility or horizontal progression to the augment system. And the best tanks are going to be the tanks that double down in that role. But the game here is agency, player agency, and providing that kind of unique
People want to use a
options.
wand and a shield, Stephen.
Right. Well, I don't know
You
about a
can.
wand and a shield. But yeah, no, it's something that is intending to allow players have agency over that.
And for those of you who wanting to hear more about augments and stuff, we will be talking more
Oh,
about that.
hey Andy, how's it going?
The reason I want to use a
And
wand
then
is because it was
also people are
broken
wondering about how
during
are you
testing.
designing encounters
Yeah,
around
everybody
that?
did use
Will
a.
it be
Yeah, I remember
situational
that.
use, or would I expect to be laying on my
Heavily
block
broken.
keybind for most of the fight to prevent getting deleted by bosses? Kind of like they're wondering if the gameplay, because obviously seeing the gameplay right now, it's in its core loop, which is a little bit more simplistic.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, it depends really on the type of adversary you're facing. Some of them are going to have indicators or tells that a big attack is coming. It's
Not bad, Andy. Just doing
where you'll have an
enjoying this live stream of
block and very unique
a game
situations
2 years away. How you doing?
Mitigate additional mitigation for those incoming one-off attacks. In other occasions, you'll be able to use it off of rotational cooldowns, or if you're waiting for a particular ability, or
I mean, it still looks great. It's just
the use of your Aegis.
I don't see any progress
There's
from
different
what they did in
situations for
December
when active block
stream.
is relevant use case.
Yeah, I don't see any
Of course,
progress
we're still
either.
in
It's
development. There's many things that will be changing along the way.
it's like they
so
just
if
had
you're
the tank
following
in the
us on
background. We're like,
and
we'll
following
hold
us
this,
so far, you've probably seen some
and then we'll show it in
various
January,
strides
make it
in
look
what
like we
we've
did a
done,
lot.
especially from Alpha 1 to moving towards our Alpha 2. But I think I'm going to wrap up the questions here. I know there are some forum questions that we'll do in the Q&A section. I just wanted to grab a few that were.
Unless they did a lot of
still
technical
pretty vocal
stuff.
in the chat.
I mean, okay,
There were a lot of
background.
comments about Steven's
I mean,
gameplay.
some of the UI looks fresh.
Coding, whatever.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
wanna
Some of the
comment
UI
on
looks
the fact,
fresh. The
though,
quest
generally,
log
you
looked
guys
updated stuff, but I don't know.
I do take a certain persona when kind of showcasing this.
Yeah,
As a
yeah,
game,
and it's a
it is
little spendy
intended
still
for an
to
audience
start out
that's
in this
not
game.
new to
They're
first
still
play,
in
but is,
alpha phase.
sometimes might be tuning in for the first time and seeing what the development of the game is all about. And
I forget how much it is to buy in right now. 200 plus bucks at least.
Rather than
And we don't know when Alpha 2 will even be.
If you're seeing it for the first time, so there's a bit of duality in kind of that streamer-esque persona. However, with that being said, what I want to do with this particular video is I want to upload a 4K version of it.
I will say, if I would have known this what it's going to look like this long ago, I probably wouldn't have bought in.
And I'm going to be a bit more descriptive and definitive
because this is starting to concern me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It is.
But I would say that that'll take probably a couple of.
It's stretching longer than I thought as well. Now there's a lot of possibility with this game, but now it.
So with that,
yeah.
we're gonna head on over to look at character.
Yeah, it's going a little too long.
I love the character art updates. Character art updates.
I expected we would be in the beta phase at this point easily, not waiting for Alpha 2 with no date.
if you've been following along with us, you've probably seen that we are going to be showcasing some Cyclops action. And we've shown a little bit of the Cyclops over.
And no word on the
kind of go back and look.
spot testing.
Now we're showing you the weapons that are.
Yeah, they at least were like, hey, we'll trickle out some spot testing for you Alpha 1 guys. You know, once a month, even. Or a weekend or something. I don't know. That would help a lot.
Cyclop Eye?
But we have some really cool looking.
Oh, you got to build a PC. Yeah, at least the GPU prices went down, I think. That'll help you out building PC, Andy.
And then Manny did the staff, the mace, and the short bow.
Love it. Looks great.
I wrote them down this time so I don't forget. I was like, Steven's gonna ask, and I need to.
That bow looks weird.
Next up, we have the tank and hammer that you saw.
The tank and hammer?
Or the tank and hammer.
Sword and hammer?
Sword and hammer that you saw.
The tank and hammer.
Oh, Margaret.
I'm not even sure how you're going to pull it. Your hand grip is in the wrong spot.
Right.
Quite beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And then I got a little teaser for you.
Ooh.
Teasing something.
But the whole thing should be a grip at this point.
But this is called,
something,
like
I don't know.
Shield, our Carfin shield. That's not the full name of it, but that might tease a little bit of what might be coming.
Carfin.
Oh, a shield.
And Danny worked on this one.
Looks great.
Looks very good. And then we've got, you guys have seen the Najash being worked on.
Oh, really nice. Nice, Andy.
Quite a bit.
That's a good card.
But this one is the Enforcer model. Looking pretty cool. And then we actually have the 3D turntable for the Shaman, which I believe we showed as the Shaman model in work in progress previously.
There's a lot going on that guy's like front face area and like chest. It just feels busy.
And then you also see their staff, which is awesome. I can't wait to see the animations for these.
Oh yeah.
I loved seeing the animated armor today with like their lightning zap thing. That ability looks so cool. And then
I'm getting like Dark Crystal vibes.
Yeah, that does look like that.
Which Jinsey worked on.
I love his little face.
I know. He's like a ram and a doggo had a baby.
Yeah.
And he's
oh, that's from the little like
he's a bull goat.
Beer month or whatever it was, where everything was themed around dwarves and beer. Oh, bars.
And then we've got
mountain goat dog, yeah.
I can't wait to see the animations.
I know.
I wish they would put like the name up here, what this is supposed to be in the corner.
And I know I'm the worst. And then we've got our Risen Guardian, which is just.
Well, that's just a concept art.
That's nice.
It looks interesting.
This is the mount that you want to ride.
I could see a zombie riding it to battle.
To battle to scare your enemies.
Oh yeah, it probably has just an aura of rotting flesh. You need to make some will saves or fortitude saves when you get near it.
Imagine the stench. This is where we need like smell-o-vision. I'm just kidding. And then we have some new stuff for you.
New stuff.
Back hairstyles. So brace yourselves. It's pretty awesome. So we're gonna start with the Vec. This is a short hairstyle, a little knobbin.
Love it.
So good.
Okay.
I like the second ponytail.
Yeah. It's Ashes of Creation fashion show.
Yeah.
The mohawk plus some beard.
I feel like the art team is way ahead of the mechanics team or something like that, and they're like, well, we got time, we got to make our job, we need to get paid.
But Ri-Fi does have a sick mohawk. He's one of our producers. And then we've got the long beard, which kind of reminds me of Zach's beard a little bit.
Zach, yeah.
But like more scruffy. And then, we got a rep.
Again, the game looks good.
We have a short
just,
hairstyle.
it's like it's hollow right now. It's like, where's your content? Where's your...
Many
Right.
many hairstyles. homies,
Playability.
So do not fret.
They had all
These
those
are just
quests
a few we're showing.
in his quest log. They could have also gone and just done a quest, like
And I think this next one's my favorite.
instead of
That's
aimlessly
the
finding this armor.
for the back.
Oh yeah, that one's.
I can
cool.
cosplay this one.
I can't wait to see the physics sim on that.
I think
You're
anybody
gonna be
could
like,
cosplay
better
that. They
not
just
be
get a
going into my clothing.
a
Good
bag,
luck with that,
like a
animators.
potato sack.
And that is the wonderful character art update. And always, they do so many amazing things. We can't show everything. We'd be here all day. But we do like to take bits and pieces that are really cool. And we do want to keep some things as surprises. So with that, we're going to swap over and do a little Q&A from the forums. If you submitted your questions, thank you so much. We super duper appreciate it. Actually, Stephen, do you want to do like a quick studio update before we do Q&A?
Yeah, no, January has been an awesome month so far. Like I said, we started off pretty quick. We have, excuse me, we have some pretty ambitious hiring goals for this year. And I think you guys last year in the community have helped us spread awareness for the studio and for the project on
How many people?
socials. And of course, we've seen, as most of you are aware, some turbulent times in the tech industry in general, as well as across the games industry specifically. Intrepid Studios is hiring. We can be a resource for those individuals who have been impacted by those recent layoffs, and our heart goes out, of course, to all of them. If you know anyone who's been impacted, direct them to intrepidstudios.com, where we have all of our current jobs postings listed.
Yes, I think there's three
and make
major
sure that they know there's
studios
gonna
that
be updates
actually
coming
did a
over the course of the
massive
next
layoff.
30 to 60 days.
Yeah, I
Make
forget.
sure that you let us know as well.
Microsoft
And of
just
course,
did a huge
if you
layoff.
see a
Their
position
Halo
listed
team just
there,
got wiped out, I think.
you know of someone who you think would be a great fit for the
Or
team or the
343
project,
Studios or
you can
whatever.
direct them to just send in their resume, even without a position listed. So that's going to be good. And then in addition, there's a lot of feedback that we need and that we share with you guys, especially in these updates. And the community team does a great job at collecting that feedback. So make sure that you guys are posting and giving us all your thoughts.
Margaret's like, I do do a good job. Thank you,
Stephen.
Stephen.
Get into this year specifically, where we have a lot of things planned.
A lot of things.
A lot of things. So yeah.
A lot of things are happening. With that, we will go to our Q&A. I was looking through my run of show and I was scrolling down. I already hit the button on the overlay and I was like, oh no. But with that, we will chat a little bit about the Q&A. So the first question here from our lovely forum folks is from Cymex. We have a few that are actually tank related. So thanks, guys. You kept everything a little bit on topic, and then we have some that are not. So we'll start with the tank ones since we got it on our mind right now.
Okay.
The first one is about damage mitigation. Should a skilled tank be able to prevent all damage to their party, or should there be situations that no matter what your skill, the party will take some damage?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few ways that gets accomplished, both from an ability creation
I mean, that all depends.
perspective with regards to the class kits and what they're capable of doing, but also in the encounter design and how we want to structure the AI and behavior tree of our monsters, not to be very simplistic in their engagement. So that is important. It's cool to, as a tank, have some control over the encounter, but it's also not cool if the control creates an entirely predictive gameplay loop. So, with that being said, excuse me, we want to introduce that element of chaos because that makes things kind of fun and reactive. And reactive gameplay is skill-based gameplay, and that's a good thing to have.
Okay.
Right. And the next question is from Immortality. This is about general tank play. Will tanks have some form of stances to swap between that increases damage dealt at the cost of defenses?
Great question.
So those are some hybridization options that should be available as part of the class kit. They can be further expanded upon with access to augment systems and depending on your secondary class choice. But again, the idea here is player agency. So we don't prescribe what that class fantasy or class role is. There's a lot of directions that players can take as part of that agency. And that comes down to how they compose their skill trees.
All right.
Show us these skill
And
trees.
then we've got
They have to be
aggro from
massive.
Super
If you're
Waffle,
giving us
Waffle
supposedly
Fry.
these many
I like that
options
name.
or
And it's making me hungry.
horses or whatever.
Tanks need to do two things: mitigate damage and hold aggro. How will tank weapons, shields, and armor balance these two dynamics compared to other gear sets?
Well, I think it does so in a few ways. I mean, obviously, stat composition and your itemization choices are important.
Again,
Sure
2 to
dividing
3
up
years.
your constitution-based stat allocation through
Unless they're
selecting
hiding stuff and
hit
not
bonuses
actually
over
saying they're
stat modifiers.
showing what's
But in
done.
addition, a big portion of that is not just through itemization, but also through your
I
skill
mean, maybe
choices.
they are hiding it,
And
but
you know, they don't have to be diametrically opposed. The
I
ability
don't
to
know.
kind of garner additional threat is
I kind of
predicated on
hope they
your
are, and then they're going to be like, all right, guys,
occasional selection.
next month is
And
Rogue,
you
following month
using
is
certain types of stat bonuses that are catered towards that
Summoner or
class.
whatever, and then the next
Those
month
types of
is
bonuses have specific
Bard, and then
targeted
Alpha
benefits
2.
like additional
Okay, great. You
threat
previewed
generation.
all of them,
But
used
in
them up.
addition, you know, if you're going to mitigate
Bought
damage,
yourself a
make
little
sure you're
time.
focusing on your health pool. How much health pool do you have available to you? What type of damage are you mitigating? Because we have different types of damage mitigation from magic to physical, and that's predicated on who your opponent is, where your adversary lives. You know, both of those are viable strategies.
All right. And then we have Orbificator, and they want to know about being unkillable. Will I be able to fulfill my fantasy of having a
I was starting to think
ridiculously
maybe
large
they
health
should have just
pool at the
either
cost
picked
of
it's
other
going to be pure
attributes?
PvP or pure PvE.
You will
I
have
don't know if
significant
they're
agency over the
capable of
allocation
doing
of your
both.
stat progression. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of that will be baked in.
I
Based
think
off
it's
of
going to be
your
real
preferred
tough with how
selection.
big this
But a
class
large
system
portion
is
of
going to
that
be
will
in
come
skill
down to your
trees
itemization
for them to
selection,
make
your
things
selection of
viable for
tattoos,
PvE and
benefits,
They haven't
PvP.
showed
and
any
augment other
PvP.
benefits you can
Right.
apply to specific
Yeah,
items
since
that
Alpha
you're
1 when we
targeting.
were in it.
But generally, if you want to make a very con-heavy, HP-focused tank, you can do that.
All right. The next one is PvP gameplay. And this one's from Nice Gaming, but not spelled like nice. What steps are being taken or considered to make the tank archetype viable in PvP engagements?
Good question.
Well, there is a whole host of things that are taken. It's important to note that in a lot of MMOs that probably many of us have played, PvP can feel like a slapped on design consideration. And our approach is very holistic in the sense that we take into account the fact this is a PvX game. So when we're designing the class kits, we are making sure that mechanics and designs are targeting applicability both in PvE settings as well as PvP settings. That's very important. You know, there are also special mechanics like how threat is used in PvP, how taunts are used in PvP. Those things I think require testing, but we have some ideas that will make them relevant so that you don't have abilities that, you know, have no relevancy in PvE or PvP.
Do what SWTOR does. The taunt ability just does a little damage reduction for your allies. That's it.
Oh, I can't wait to
then.
then.
From Sego. And they want to know, how will off tanks remain useful in raids or dungeons when they don't need to tank for a specific fight?
I was gonna say, how are you gonna make taunt work in PvP?
Right. You got to make it like a second ability.
Relevant. I mean,
basically.
When you're fighting in a dungeon, you have the occasional adds that come in. Where a tank might be, the primary tank might be focused on keeping your groups, your party's target aggroed, and the off tank has the ability to kind of hold aggro on adds until the main tank is finished with their target. In addition, you have certain types of abilities like taunts that are immediate redirects on threat without having to acquire or accrue the appropriate threat to hold that aggro, that can utilize those taunts situationally based off of the threats that are appearing to the party. There's a lot of, I mean, there's a broad scope of applicability that applies to these types of roles like off tank that I think are relevant and part of our overall kit designs.
And this next question is one I feel like many people internally have also talked about, which is Mayo. It's from Mayo Sotis, and they want to know about the name. Have you considered renaming the tank archetype?
Yes, we have considered it. There there are a few thoughts on that. The tank is a clear communicator. The tank n- name is a clear indicator kind of the role that is more common in our average MMO vernacular, right? Now, from a role play perspective, there are questions about keeping that name in world, in lore, so to speak, and not necessarily adopting the vernacular that the community has adopted. Um, I think those are
Who
valid
cares about the
concerns and
lore if it's
something
just for
not
selecting
denied
class in a
that is to be
UI?
considering. But I would say an update on that is not coming in the immediate future.
They're not gonna. You're not gonna get NPC go. I need a tank, guys. Come join me.
It's gone. Barab wants to know about naval mechanics. Will there be a mechanic on ships that allow players to hire or install NPCs to control sails or fire cannons?
No, we don't have the concept of including the mercenary or additive NPC solution or as a mechanic on naval ships. They are elsewhere within the game, but not intended for naval
That's
ships.
got to be tough to implement
Azure
AI
wants
for
to know
that.
about siege summons. Will there be level restrictions on who can participate in the activation of these abilities, other than for the group leader?
Oh, yeah, we haven't even
For
talked about
summons
naval
during
stuff.
sieges, we're
Siege
talking about.
summons.
I'm sorry, let
Those
me
are the
change that.
summoners. Or are you
5
talking about
years.
siege weapons?
Well, we saw that one little clip from a video where
Will
there
there
was a
be
boat that
level
was wiggling
restrictions on
up
who
and
can
down,
participate in the activation of
or
these
waving up and
abilities?
down.
So if we're
Oh,
talking
my
about
ear.
vehicles and siege weaponry, that's agnostic
That
of
hurt.
class kits. Those will be predicated on individuals who have the items within their inventory in order to summon them, and who are registered as part of, in the castle scenario, a registered guild, or in the node scenario, an attacker, a valid attacker. With regards to um, the summoner class and abilities that exist within class kits, those types of summons will require that
At this point, they just
the summoner is an active
maybe just
participant
release
in
the
the
game
siege or in the
without the naval
node
being
siege,
totally
or
implemented,
node siege,
and then
in order to utilize that
And then
ability.
roll it out later.
And then if we're
You know
talking
what?
about the group summons,
I know they promised
then
in
the
the
group summons will
Kickstarter
be
as part of one of the
utilized
tiers
solely by the party
unlocked
leader.
that it was going
So
to be
that's
there at
that's an
launch.
activation
I
that
don't
occurs
want
with
them
the
to
party leader.
half-ass it.
The party leader has to
Just
satisfy
to hit that
having that ability as
checkbox.
part of their class kit, and then
They can leave
having
it
the
as an
necessary
expansion
additive components from other
6
classes
months
that
down the
allow
line or something. You know, once they're launched and they're
And then
smooth.
Chaos wants to know about raid bosses. It was stated that raid bosses would change difficulty based on how fast a group was clearing them. If the raids are supposed to be open and not instance, how does this work, or do rooms lock once a boss is pulled? And this was something you had stated a long time ago.
Yeah, so raid bosses are aware of the number of combatants within an area in proximity to them. And that awareness is part of an indicator to which behaviors they're going to utilize as part of their behavior tree. So as it's assessing the types of combatants that are facing it, the number of those combatants, the position of those combatants, the abilities and life totals of those combatants, it weighs certain actions in its behavior tree, and then it acts on those actions. And in the scenario where you're bringing overwhelming odds to a particular fight, that might weigh heavier the AOE options that the boss has access to where they're utilizing a lot more AOE abilities during an engagement due to that overage of players. So
But what
in
if I
that
bring
sense,
like 2
it's a bit
people?
adaptive. It's a bit
Gonna
dynamic
single
based
target the
on
tank?
the encounter scenario.
And you haven't really seen our full AI encounters yet. We're very much in our core loop state was we're
Just show us.
So for people being like, we don't see that right now. It's because it's not.
Hey, Job
not
Job.
showing that quite yet. And then Serena Venport wants to know about player housing. And this is our final question from the forums today. What limitation will we have with placing items we find in the world as decorations in our houses?
There is a few limitations. Some of those limitations are specific to the type of housing that you own. Some of those limitations are at the recipe and workbench construction point as well. Like you need to have the necessary components to make those things. Placing them, there is an allotment quota that's based on the type of housing. And there is a grade restriction based on the type of housing. So if you have a mansion in node housing, you can place the best furniture, right? And furniture has mechanical components to it, right? Game mechanics associated with them. They're not just visual or cosmetic. Um, in addition, there might be limitations around how many of a particular type.
So I can't have a shanty house and then stack like crafting tables on top of each other.
Of a property, so you might only be able to place one of a certain type. So there's a few rules around that.
All right, and that's it. We wrapped it up. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, we've probably made some edits because we're going to re-record the gameplay section to showcase that a little bit better. And for those of you who are watching us watching this live with us, thank you for joining us and giving us.
Oh, they're going to redo that whole thing. All that
and of course,
gameplay.
As always, head on over to our forums.
I feel a little defeated.
Give us feedback. We have Tank.
So for YouTube, you're going to do what you should have done the first time.
So if you have thoughts, get them over to us. We always love seeing those. And as Stephen mentioned before, we do make reports on these and we send them to the development team. And sometimes we have meetings regarding these. And it really helps us ensure that we're always on the same page. And usually a lot of the feedback that you guys have is stuff that we're already like, yeah, we want to move forward in that direction anyway, or we're already working towards that, which is nice.
Good validator. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. It validates that we're on the right track. And of course, we would love for you to check out our Feather.
I hope they never have more than 6 topics at the bottom.
They will be swapping over February 8th, 2023 at 11 a.m.
I'm not going to
if you want
organize
those,
right.
grab them. And of course, thank you very much, viewers, for joining us. And of course, to our lovely developers, Keenan, Trad, Brian, and Steven, for showcasing our tank. And
do you remember when it used to be like a 4-hour stream?
We'll have a 4K video.
You just keep rambling on.
Oh, I know. That was the worst.
One will come today, and the other one will go tomorrow.
I would play it while I would drive around. I would listen to it.
Subscribe. Your comment could possibly be the lucky winner that will be showcased on our next development update next month. So please follow us in all the places at Ashes of Creation. And we'll see you guys.
Steven would talk about killing ducks and
yeah,
talk about cats, the weather, and their lawn care service.
The most amazing MMORPG possible, and our goal has always been to make you proud. So keep us informed on your feedback and give us all the thoughts.
Yeah,
we will see you soon.
We love seeing all your thoughts. So we'll see y'all next month.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Well, that was a new logo. Ooh. I felt like that logo should move a little faster. Well, that was that was a interesting stream to say the least. If you're watching it throughout the whole thing, you Jhibli and I were talking about it.
Crappy.
Yeah, they. Like you said, they should have really just used the abilities. Just stood there. Like they could have just had two players standing in an area just shooting at each other, and that's it. Or hitting each other with a mace or sword and switching weapons. He could have shown off his cool armor set he had still, but like I don't know, like that was a letdown to say the least. With the stream, I don't know, for having an hour-long gameplay, it's like he touched on abilities, but then never went used them. But how
do you know your threat?
Right. He could have planned like we said earlier. If Steven planned a little bit, he could have showcased this game off way more. I don't know if this was a last minute, like, oh crap, we got to do something for the stream, or like they had issues and they were waiting for the tank to get a little fine tuning or something, and then they got to wait till today. But I don't know. Well, they didn't preview really anything for next month, so I have no idea what they're going to show. Are they just going to show, I don't know, more combat, I guess, but not go over the abilities? So, reminds me of.
Yeah, from what they showed today, or yeah, the tank, you could have just been out in the middle of fields and attacking mobs. Didn't need a party.
Right. And Steven, with his GM abilities, probably could have spawned in random things. Or hell, had someone do it for him as an assistant, standing in the corner, just dropping. All right, here's you're find a scorpion. Here you find, this. You're finding that. Oh, we're gonna do PvP. I'm gonna be an archer and I'm gonna shoot at you and do active blocking, and then see how that goes. I know they have the fly text up on some things. I wish we could see more fly text of like combat and damage being done. I personally don't like it when I'm normally playing, but for these purposes, like seeing like him get hit and it's 100 damage, and then he puts his active block up and then it's 5. That would tell me how valuable that is. It really wasn't there, but oh, thank you, Wizzy McNasty, for following on Twitch. I appreciate it. The alley plays down. That's a good name too. What would Annie say? The alley plays down. They did a complete revamp.
There's also
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
like
Go ahead, man.
the I was gonna say, like for your text, for your combat text, a lot of times if you block, it'll say block, or if you get hit, there's a parentheses of the damage you didn't take.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about because I'm trying to think what other game I've seen that in. Was it Lord of the Rings Online? Maybe I played had that. I think they did that too, where it was like you had a block ability and then you would like see what you was missed. Um, that is a nice little thing to see. Oh, thanks for the follow, Auto Racing on Twitch. Appreciate it. And yeah, Andy, I am on Twitch. I've always been on Twitch. I just never advertise it really. Um, yeah, I don't know. I hope when they do the UI, they do that fly text so we can see. Because if they don't put damage meters in the game or have a good one, sometimes we're stuck with just reading the text that's flying off in front of us. So yeah, I don't know. Thank you, man.
Oh, you're not gonna have damage meters.
Is that so? That's confirmed. There's no damage meters. I know they were talking about no add-ons and stuff, but like, I think you should have a damage meter even just for yourself at very least, just to know what you're doing.
No, I don't. They don't want the.
Yeah, didn't they say they don't want like the criticism from other people and people being pushed away or
I don't know what you want to call it. The yeah, because the dark side of damage meters. I don't know what you want to call it.
right? Yeah, I know what you mean, and I kicked people out of groups because their damage is weak, but it's because I've had a damage meter and I've seen it right away before we got to a boss. Like if I can't see someone's damage as we're killing mobs on the way up, and I get to a boss and I spend the next 30 minutes on it, I'm gonna hate that guy because I'm gonna know, being a relatively decent player at least, I'll know who's not pulling it. If I keep dying and it's my fault, I'll know right away it's a tank.
Here's with what Wizzy's saying right now. If they have that, so you can calculate your own performance. Here's the problem: you will have some guilds that are going to say, "Okay, share your screen, and then show me what your DPS is."
Right. That's true. Take a screenshot. You know, do something. Take a screenshot of it. Do something. That's true. They'll force you in one way or another. So I mean, the effect will
You
still
don't
be
have to
there.
join that guild, but you're still gonna have to deal with it if you have any way of calculating your DPS.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there'll always be people finding a way to figure this out, even if it's. I joined a guild once, or I joined a raid group once, where as a DPS they knew certain abilities and they needed me to go kill stuff on a certain area, and I had to hit certain numbers and tell them what my numbers were, and if I didn't average a certain, you know, DPS or whatever average between all the hits, I wasn't going to be worth it for them to take on the raids. So I remember having to do all this legwork and stuff. So it's still possible if people really want it. Right, and yeah, that's the guild you're choosing, was he? So yeah, well, that was a.
I don't think they should have any DPS meter. What you're gonna look at is, okay, if there's a mechanic and you die by it, or if you know you need to do more DPS, then fine.
Right. Yeah, you'll people will figure out in the long run. I personally just like DPS meters for myself. If someone wants to compare with me, then that's great. But yeah, and you're always going to have gatekeepers with you. That's for sure. No matter what. So, but man, I don't know. I had high hopes for the stream. I'm a tank as my main. I really love it, and
Disappointed.
yeah, it was kind of disappointing. Yeah, I mean there is value to both sides with you, especially if you're trying to do a world first competition or achievement goal. You want the best of the best, and I do get that, and that's if you're going to join, that's the person's choice. So, there this. Yeah, yeah, it really it was
Yeah,
it was bad.
I would say it's probably the worst stream they've ever had.
I don't know. They had some really rough ones real early on, but this one of the last year and a half was pretty lame. I don't know. They didn't show anything. Like, yeah, there's a tank with some abilities, but they just didn't do it. Like they could have done so much more. And the fact there's no alphas around the corner or spot tests they've announced, like, you know, unfortunate. But well, I think that's about it. There wasn't too much excitement in here, so I wasn't gonna go off too much on it. Ooh, what's that you got to say? Sorry. I got to get to bed. We'll catch you next time. Hey, Andy, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. For everybody else that stopped in by and joined, Wizzy, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Jhibli, thanks for joining. I'm going to try to work. We'll work this setup better, so there's no delay or something with the streaming and the video for next time. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I think that's all I got for today, and we'll do this again next
Before you
month.
go,
Oh, yeah,
just so you know, if you ever tank like Steven, I'm gonna have to quit your guild and then try to kill you.
Oh my god! If I tank like that, I would like you to end my life. Like I pride myself in my tanking abilities, and it irked me to watch him. It really did. Like it really bothered me watching him, and I would have demoted him in my guild so fast to DPS and be like, man, you're not a fit for a tank. Like, thanks for trying. Go be an archer in the corner. or some sort of ranged in the corner. But yeah, so anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I'll catch you guys all next month on the next stream, or if they do spot testing or something, I'll put a video up. So thanks again, and bye. It does piss everyone off.